On a moonless night, far from the reaches of civilization, a group of survivors clung to a desolate island in the heart of the Pacific Ocean. They had fled their sinking cruise ship, now lost beneath the unforgiving waves. It was a small cluster of disparate souls: David, a former Marine; Sarah, a nurse; Mark, a high school teacher; and Lisa, an adventurous backpacker. Their voyage had taken a gruesome turn, and as they stumbled ashore, they were unaware that their terror had only just begun. As dawn broke, revealing the island's dense, foreboding jungle, they gathered to assess their situation. No signs of rescue ships, and no communication devices that worked. Desperation loomed, but their unity held strong, at least for now. Days turned into weeks, and their survival instincts took over. They built crude shelters from palm fronds, started a small fire, and foraged for fruits and fish. But as the days stretched into months, their meager supplies dwindled, and their hope began to fade. One evening, as they huddled around the flickering fire, a low, guttural chant echoed through the jungle. Their hearts raced, and fear surged through their veins. Shadows moved in the darkness, and their senses sharpened as they realized they were not alone on this cursed island. The cannibals emerged from the shadows, their faces adorned with gruesome masks made from the bones of their victims. Savage and terrifying, they carried crude weapons fashioned from wood and bone. The survivors scrambled for their crude spears and sharpened rocks, realizing that their peaceful days had come to a gruesome end. A battle ensued in the darkness, illuminated only by the eerie glow of the fire. The survivors fought valiantly, but the cannibals were relentless, driven by hunger and madness. Mark fell first, overwhelmed by their sheer numbers. Sarah's screams pierced the night as they dragged her into the jungle. David and Lisa, bloodied and battered, managed to escape, but the cannibals were close on their heels. The chase through the jungle was a relentless nightmare. David's military training and Lisa's determination kept them one step ahead, but the cannibals were cunning and knew the island's terrain better than they did. Just when it seemed hope had abandoned them, they stumbled upon a hidden cave entrance. Gasping for breath, they entered the cave, its darkness swallowing them whole. They huddled together, trembling in fear, and listened as the cannibals' enraged cries faded into the distance. For now, they were safe. Inside the cave, they discovered a network of tunnels that seemed to stretch deep into the heart of the island. With no other options, they ventured further in, their only source of light a single flickering torch fashioned from dried palm leaves. As they delved deeper into the cave system, they stumbled upon a gruesome sight, a room filled with the remains of their fellow survivors, picked clean to the bone. The cannibals had clearly used this place for their grisly feasts for generations. Dread washed over David and Lisa as they realized the true horror of their predicament. The island was not just a temporary hunting ground for the cannibals, it was their home, and they were not the first to be stranded here. Days turned into weeks as they navigated the labyrinthine caves, surviving on meager supplies they found along the way. Their only goal now was to find a way off the island, away from the terror that haunted them at every turn. One fateful day, they stumbled upon an underground river that seemed to flow toward the island's coast. With hope renewed, they fashioned a crude raft from driftwood and set out on the treacherous journey through the dark, winding tunnels. As they floated deeper into the cave system, the oppressive darkness closed in around them. They heard the distant echoes of the cannibals' chants, a reminder that they were never truly safe. The river carried them through a series of waterfalls and narrow passages until, at long last, they emerged into the blinding daylight. They had reached the island's coast, but their ordeal was far from over. The cannibals were hot on their trail, and they knew that escape would not come easily. With newfound determination, David and Lisa embarked on a perilous journey across the island, evading the relentless pursuit of the cannibals. They faced harrowing challenges, from treacherous cliffs to dense jungles, but their will to survive drove them forward. Finally, After what felt like an eternity, they spotted a rescue ship on the horizon. With a mixture of relief and dread, they realized that their only chance for salvation was to signal the ship and pray that it reached them in time. As they lit a makeshift signal fire, they could hear the cannibals closing in. The rescue ship drew nearer, its crew spotting the desperate survivors on the beach. With a final burst of strength,
David and Lisa fought off the approaching cannibals and swam out to meet their salvation. The ship's crew hauled them aboard, and as they looked back at the cursed island, they knew they had escaped a fate worse than death. The horrors they had witnessed would haunt their dreams for the rest of their lives, a reminder that in the darkest corners of the world, unimaginable terrors lurked, waiting to consume the unwary. As the ship sailed away from the accursed island, David and Lisa clung to each other, their hearts heavy with the knowledge that they were the only survivors. The cannibals' haunting chants faded into the distance, but the memory of their time on that nightmarish island would never leave them. A tale of survival against all odds and the darkness that dwells in the hearts of men.